Alan, what kind of impact is global warming having on the polar regions right now?
I think there are two answers to that question. If I take you first to my favourite place, the Antarctic, much of Antarctica is not changing, surprisingly enough, but the part that sticks out towards South America, the region called the Antarctic Peninsula, is changing markedly. It's changing faster there than anywhere else on the planet almost at this time. So it's risen by about 3 degrees in the last 50 years or so. The impacts of that are the glaciers are melting, the ecosystem is changing, the number of krill that are around are much reduced, and krill actually form the centre of the food web, the centre of everything that the penguins eat and the seals and the whales in that region. If I take you to the other end of the planet, it's probably changing faster there than even in the Antarctic Peninsula, or just as fast. And the reason for that is that it's very close to freezing point, and a little bit of warming melts much of the ice. So the sea ice is at its lowest levels in the Arctic Ocean that we've ever seen in historical records.
What does this mean for the rest of the world then?
Well, just let's take the glaciers melting. Quite simply, sea level rises. Now, that's important to us all. I mean, just think about your bath is the answer. If you watch the bath level go up, eventually you get to a level in your bath that floods. And therefore the probability of flooding, the impacts on places like Bangladesh will be first, and some of our Pacific islands. So you and I might not see it quite so much in the short term here, but there are other places in the world that will see the impacts of these changes.
Are you satisfied that the kind of initiatives that you're seeing here are going far enough?
The problem that we're facing is, as others have said, the biggest that faces the planet in this century. And actually there is no one solution to this problem. You need lots and lots of solutions. This is clearly going to be one. In prospect, it looks as though it might make a significant difference to the amount of carbon that we are. And I'll have to tell you more at the end of the conference rather than the beginning once I've got a better understanding. But this is only one of many steps that are necessary. We need personal impact, in my view, we need government legislation, we need business initiative, and we need partnerships between all of those elements to address the issues that we're facing today.
Realistically, how long have we got?
It depends on how bad you want the story to be. The real story is actually we should have started 20 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago, or maybe in the pre-industrial era. Actually, we must act now. The most recent economic forecasts are suggesting the sooner we start, the cheaper the solution will be for us. So even if it's nothing to do with the planet, economically, it's sensible to start now or yesterday.
What are the major things you think we need to be doing more of and going further with in order to combat the problem?
I think I'm not the best person on the planet to describe those. I'm the scientist that tries to give you, unfortunately, rather too much bad news. But you see a whole host of initiatives that are around the place, from the personal thought of individuals that are travelling less, that are trying to be clever in the way that they do things, to lift share, to bicycle to work slightly more often than they used to at one end of the spectrum. And then there are absolutely business initiatives, I'm convinced, at the other end of it, where businesses can make a big difference. They have the opportunity if they start now.
Thank you very much indeed.